Hi, my name is Kae Hana and I am the founder and the designer for the brand Kae Hana, and I have also recently launched a plus size brand called Kae Hana Plus. So I graduated from LaSalle 10 years ago, and I'm also part of a local designers collective called PARCO Next. So it is an incubators program, and via that program we were sent to TaF.tc for a couple of courses like visual merchandising and business courses. Okay, so they were actually searching for a couple of local designers or local artisans to be able to work on set. So it was really word of mouth. Somebody knew somebody else, and they were searching for as many people as they could, because still there was a selection process. The head costumer, Mary, she was the one looking through our resumes and looking through our CVs and see whether we were fit to work on set. So it was quite nerve-wracking waiting for Mary's approval. Yeah. So a lot of my job during my time there was reworking dresses or making the gowns fit better. So our days were about 12 to 14 hours long every day. When I first walked in, I was already thrown into it. So we were already working on the wedding dress. So the wedding dress is very iconic, isn't it? So the wedding dress already came to Singapore almost done. It's about half done, 3/4 of the way done. So we were there to add on a lot more embellishment. So I worked with another designer. His name is Rian Hafiz. So he is very specialized in bridal couture. So he, of course, is the perfect person to work on the wedding dress. So both of us together, we worked on the wedding dress for a good 2 weeks. So that is doing the applique, adding on the feathers at the bottom, adding on the crystals and things like that. So that was one of like the craziest things I've done, because it was just full on wedding dress and nothing else. And there was this one dress, it was a blue Marquesa dress. It was a gallery piece actually. It was a couture Marquesa gown. They fitted it on Constance Wu, and it was too big for her because she is a very petite woman, and it was way too long too. So we had to rework the entire dress, and we were so afraid to, because the material was tulle and it was so fragile, and it was on loan, so we didn't want to tear it or we didn't want to destroy it. So we had to really work very delicately around the dress. About at least 30% of the dress was changed. Yeah, even the flowers were not on her neck at all at first, because the flowers, when it came, it was actually on the waist. So they moved it up because they wanted to have a more focal, wanted to give her a better look. Yeah, because there was a lot of shots that were focused on her face, right? That dress was a dress that I will never forget. So besides that also, I had to do a couple of alterations for a couple of the main cast, like Fiona Xie. So she was Kitty Pong in the movie. So a lot of her outfits were too big for her. So I had to alter it for her. I had to alter dresses for Ko Cheng Man, Henry Golding. I had to do a lot of alterations on the sleeves, make it shorter, make his hemline shorter and things like that. But it was really interesting to work. And the thing is, you gotta do it really fast, because you are on a very tight deadline, and anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So being a ready-to-wear designer, I wasn't very exposed to a lot of silk or a lot of couture gowns. It's not all the time that you can handle a Marquesa gown or a Burberry gown. It's not something that happens every day for me, especially. But because I was working with somebody who's very familiar with gowns and very familiar with very precious fabrics, very fragile fabrics, I asked him a lot. I asked Rian quite a bit of, hey, how do you think that I should work on this, or what's the right way to do it? So it's a really good way for me to learn too. And yeah, I mean, right now it makes me not very afraid of working with, you know, precious or very fragile materials. Okay, so like I said previously, when I was in school, I majored in fashion design. So there wasn't a lot of exposure to visual merchandising or business, especially business. We didn't have a lot of exposure to accounts or things like that, and that is the kind of thing that is essential to a business. I found that very beneficial. I had no idea how to do that, but because of that, you know, I can count my losses. For you to project your business for the next 2 years, you need to be able to break down the numbers, right? So that for me was very important. Actually, we went to Japan to further carry on our visual merchandising classes, and it was really nice to be able to see how experts do it, you know. So we might think we're really like, oh, so creative and so nice, but you really don't know in the mind of, because we see ourselves as the person behind the brand, but sometimes you don't see yourself as the audience, right? So the audience might be able to see, would see it as a totally like different thing, but in our heads, oh, my shop looks nice, you know, but we don't know because we are very inexperienced. I was very inexperienced. So because of that, I'm able now to, whenever I have a pop-up or whenever I have a sale somewhere, I know how to bring my branding out, and I now know how to establish a really nice space. Yeah, and I think that is two of the most essential for my business. For prospective students, I think that find places that you feel comfortable with taking up courses. If you don't know how to sew, find somewhere where you can learn how to sew, learn how to pattern draft, because at the end of the day, this is what will make you a better designer or a better tailor or anything that you want to become. Because the whole myth about designers being glamorous is totally a lie, a complete lie. You have to put in a lot of work, right? So if you are ready for it, I hope you start learning right from the bottom. You know, start learning from the essentials, because all of this is very, very essential. Because at the end of the day, you won't just be working with one kind of fabrics or one kind of look, you know, because you do want to expand or you do want to get better. So and also find yourself great mentorship. Find people in the industry that has experience. Ask them about how to run a business if you don't know how to. Ask them how to find prospective stockists. Ask them, hey, how do you find production places? How do you trust production places and things like that? Because these are the things that at the end of the day, if you get all of this sorted out, it will be a smoother ride for you, right? Yeah, instead of just with the idea that, oh, I can just draw clothes and then it will magically come to life. It doesn't work that way at all. Yeah.
Do you think your 13-year-old self could see you where you are right now?
Pretty much, because she was very stubborn. She's still very stubborn. So